What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Wednesday with a 12-game slate here tonight. Hopefully, we can bounce back here on this slate. Another night where things really didn't go my way, especially with Lucas Giolito. The guy absolutely pooped his pants in the second inning against Detroit. First inning up, 1-2-3 inning with like 12 pitches, got 2 Ks. I was like, all right, Giolito, here we go, baby. Big night coming. In the second inning, he was like, you know what, Money Webby? Screw you, I'm just going to implode here. I don't feel like pitching anymore. He only went 1.1 innings in the game. He allowed like a couple walks, a couple hits, and some bum batters on Detroit. So that really sucked. And then Rich Hill later in that, I was like, all right, at least Rich Hill will give us a good night. Then he allows a home run to Jay Bruce somehow, who like can't hit anything this year, especially against lefties. And then Conforto goes deep against them. So I'm not sure how that happened. But that's NFL. I mean, that's MLB DFS sometimes. Like, guys in great matchups can just absolutely suck sometimes if they just leave a pitcher over the middle. The guy goes deep, and it just throws all the stats out the window. So that is last night, and let's see if we can have some better luck, though, here tonight with my money six. Six of my favorite plays on the board. I really like these guys. So hopefully they can come out here and perform for me tonight. So before we get going, though, be sure to drop a like if you're ready to bounce back here and win some money on this slate. Yeah, let's third time's a charm here on this week. Let's see if we can have just a good, solid night with the money six here tonight. So let's get into it, though. 12 games, like I said. First guy up, I'm going to go with Ryu here at 9,200 going against the Mets. A really good matchup. I've gone with Alex Wood, Rich Hill the last two nights, lefties against the Mets, and my reasoning stays the same here. They're really bad against lefties. They strike out a lot against them. And Ryu, another guy with good BVP against them. In 48 plate appearances, he's only allowing a 156 batting average and a 29% K rate against them. So I think he can get a good amount of Ks here. And the guy's been great at home. In 6 starts at home, he's only allowing a 192 batting average. Good for 23 DraftKings points at average. So I think he can have another solid outing here. He was really solid against an Arizona lineup, which is very good. And Ryu's been generating a lot of Ks this year. He has a 28.6% K rate on the season. So I think he can get us around like 6, 7 Ks. Go around 6 to 7 innings, hopefully, against this Mets lineup, and has the ability to get the win here. The Dodgers, I think, can give him a few runs of run support. So Ryu here, 9,200. I think he'll be good for 20 to 25 DraftKings points around there. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my SB1. And second up, only $200 cheaper, I'm going to go with Kopech here, the young ace who should be really good down the future, but he's still showing that ability already out of the gates. He had a really solid outing against Detroit. Went 6 innings, only allowed 1 run, and got 4 Ks. I'm expecting a few more Ks in this matchup against Detroit again. He's been kind of having some tough luck with the weather the last 2 innings, or the last 2 starts. I think one got rained out, and then this one got a big delay, so he wasn't able to come back in. So he's going to be rested up. I guess that's a positive. And Detroit, they're really bad against right-handed pitchers. They're really bad, like every kind of stat you look at. They struggle a lot. Their average is really low, and they do strike out a good amount as well. So I think Kopech, a guy that showed really good K ability in the minors and has really good stuff. He is an electric fastball, a great slider, can definitely generate some misses with the pitches, and they're only implied 3.2 runs in this game. So I think Kopech can definitely get it done. He has a good opportunity of getting his second his second win against the Tigers here. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my SB2, and that allows us a good amount of money to pay up for a bats, even though we have 2 guys who I think can really have good outings. So pretty much the same kind of build as Rich Hill and Giolito yesterday, but a much safer option, I think, in Kopech and Ryu as well, who both have that good ability against bad lineups. So for my first hitter, I'm going to go with the guy that's been slumping, but Nolan Arenado against the lefty. Even though the guy's in the kind of a slump, he's just so elite against lefties. It's tough to turn him up, and especially in like kind of a cheaper price tag of 5,200. I feel like normally against a lefty at home, he'd be around 5,500, maybe 56 or something like that. So going against Suarez here against lefties on the season, Arenado, he has a 401 ISO and a 513 WOBA. So numbers is off the board against them, and he is much better in Coors Field as well. I think that's kind of one of the main, or not the main reason, but a big part of why he's been struggling recently is that this outside of home in these kind of lesser ballparks, he does struggle a good amount. Like in 66 games, the guy only has a 255 batting average on the road and compared to a 349 average at home. So he just has a much better hitting ability in Coors Field, and I think that can come to fruition here against a guy like Andrew Suarez, who has a big part downgrade going from San Fran to Colorado, and he's been struggling a lot outside of San Fran. He has a 5.5 ERA on the road, and he's been allowing a good amount of hard contact and home runs to right-handed batters with 1.59 home runs per 9 coming against right-handed batters. So I think a guy like Arenado, so elite against lefties, can go deep against Suarez. Even though he's been struggling, he has come out and said that he has like still that right shoulder pain, but he's saying that it's not affecting his hitting at all. He's just really kind of been in a slump, and I think with that huge road trip, whatever, on the West Coast, I think that could be a big reason why. And I think back home here, he can get back into his groove against a guy like Suarez and go deep. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. Maybe we get a lower ownership on him because of the slump and kind of that injury concern. So for my second hitter, I'm going to go with Cole Calhoun here at 4,200. Going against Bartolo Colon, who we know can be kind of just, I don't know, you never know what to expect with Colon, but he allows a ton of home runs, especially in Texas. He's allowing 1.9 home runs per 9 here, and this is a park upgrade for a Calhoun going to one of the best hitting parks in all of baseball, and the guy's been really solid since the All-Star break. He has a 252 ISO since the All-Star break, and really good numbers against right-handed pitchers. Has a hard hit rate and a good little power of around 210 ISO in the whole entire year, and that's considering how bad he was in the first half. So really good stuff at 4,200. Just really good upside, I think, in that leadoff spot of the lineup against a guy like Colon, who can allow a ton of home runs, and Calhoun can definitely go deep. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. Really good upside in the leadoff spot. Another leadoff hitter, I'm going to go with Malik Smith here at 4,600. Going against Aaron Sanchez, who isn't a great pitcher, and Malik Smith has had some like promising BVP against them. It's only 5 plate appearances, but he's 2 for 2 with 3 walks and 2 stolen bases. So in this leadoff spot, I think he can just get on base once against Sanchez. Sanchez has been allowing a high on base percentage to lefties with a 42% rate. So I think if Sanchez just gets on once, he can definitely get a stolen base off him. And that's another guy with a big park upgrade going to Toronto instead of Tampa Bay. So I think he can get a hit or two just off Sanchez or even the bullpen. And he's definitely capable of getting 5 at-bats. This Tampa Bay lineup has been quietly really good recently. And now with Malik Smith in that leadoff spot, he can get up to 5 at-bats here again. He's been getting it pretty regularly recently. And he's been putting up good, solid drafting points, kind of flying under the radar. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there against Aaron Sanchez. So that's the core 5, and we're going to stick with that Tampa Bay lineup with Brandon Lowe, a guy that's been absolutely killing it over the last week or so. If you look at the numbers here, 28 against Cleveland, 19, 2 home runs in those games, another home run again against Atlanta. He got 14 with a stolen base against Boston. I think this guy has an outside, he has an outside shot at getting a stolen base as well. 2 stolen bases already, and he can go deep definitely against a right-handed pitcher. If you look at the numbers against righties, he has a 226 ISO, which is pretty damn solid. And he's been trending up the lineup. He was in the 6th spot in this game just the other night, and he has that power. He has a 226 ISO. I think I'd have said that, but they're implied 4.6 runs, so I think Lowe can knock in some guys. Can definitely go deep here in the park upgrade, and that 3,200 just way too cheap considering how well he's been hitting the ball. So second base and outfield eligibility as well. That can definitely help with the flexibility of your lineup. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. That Tampa Bay lineup could fly under the radar again here tonight. So we got 3,650 remaining per player. Definitely good ability with Ryu, Kopech, Lowe, Arenado, Calhoun, Malik Smith. All those guys can definitely return production here tonight. So let's see if we have some better luck, hopefully. Be sure to drop a like before you head out if you didn't already. 80 plus likes would be greatly appreciated. And also, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already to get these DFS picks every single night. We get NFL DFS right around the corner. A few days until that. Check out my NFL video if you haven't already. So good luck tonight, guys, on this 12-game slate. We'll see you back here again next time.